going to talk about federal government contracting today. I'm going to show you, we got Harrisburg PFPA in the building. So what we're going to do today, what we're going to cover today briefly. So when y'all coming on in, share the live, like the screen, do all the good stuff that you do. But the question that I get all the time is, how do we find the subcontractors to actually perform the federal government contracts that we pursue? And two, how do we actually talk to these subcontractors? How do we actually talk to them? What do we say when we get on the phone with them? So we're going to do a live call today. You know, y'all tap on the screen, share the live. We're going to do a live call today. We're going to reach out to a couple of subcontractors so you can be able to hear and see how we actually call these subcontractors, what we say and all of that. But y'all come on in the building. Make sure that everybody is here. Am I from the islands? That's the question. Listen, I am. If this is your first time coming across my content, first time jumping on my page, yes, I am from the beautiful Twin Islands of Trinidad and Tobago. I am Trini to the bone. I am Trini to the bone. And yes, I see my boys in the house talking about fly, eagle, fly. What's up, Curbs? So yeah, what we going to talk about them Cowboys? We're going to talk about them Cowboys a little later. So y'all share the live with me, man. Share the live. So the solicitation that we're going to look at today, is, as you can see on the screen, it's behavioral health. Behavioral health. The federal government is seeking behavioral health services from a business, from a local small business like you and I. So if this is the first time coming across my content and you want to know what we actually do, we teach business owners and entrepreneurs how they can get their business inside of federal government space to be able to provide the federal government with whatever they need. It can be hair care products, it can be toothpicks, it could be behavioral health like we will cover today. So we will go into in-depth on how we do what we do, but the reason and the purpose for my live and for me coming on live to show you, one, is to simplify and demystify the process in how to actually do federal government contracting and how to actually get started is not as difficult as people make it out to be. There is no gatekeeping over here at the FGC community. We show you the entire process. So if you want to actually learn, so again, I've said it before on many different platforms and on my content, it is impossible. It is impossible for you to understand what I have learned for many years. It's impossible for me to teach that to you just over video clips or seeing me on live, okay? So if you want to actually learn the process of what I'll be showing you now and how you can make income from the federal government, you have to actually be able for me to be able to teach you. So we have a workshop coming up next week. It's starting next week from the 27th through the 29th. The 27th through the 29th, we have a workshop coming up that will show you the details, the ins and outs, the how-tos on how we actually execute, how we find federal government contracts, how we understand what the federal government is asking for, and then how we are able to provide that without having to do the physical work. That's what we'll be teaching you. So click the link in the bio, click the link in the description. You can see how you could actually jump on and actually learn the process of federal government contracting. All right. So on today's example, we're illustrating that it doesn't matter what the federal government is looking for. We, as a small business, a prime contractor that's registered with the federal government, we can provide the federal government with anything they're looking for, including the behavioral health. So a lot of people ask, how do we find a small business to actually perform what we're looking for? So at the solicitation that we see in front of us, the federal government is looking for behavioral health, And based off of the documentation and the verbiage, we can see they want this in Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas is where the federal government is looking for this particular service. So it doesn't matter what, let's make some calls. Yeah, we're going to, but I'm laying the foundation and the framework. So even if you're watching the replay later on, fellow Trinidadian here, I got my cage code. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. We got some Trinidadians in the house. Listen, if you have not been, I'm gonna have to plug my island in, man. You all have got to go visit. So, so it's in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm laying the foundation so you can understand. So in Little Rock, Arkansas, we can see that they're looking for behavioral health. Remember, what I'm showing you is a high-level overview of what we teach people inside of our community on how to execute and win federal government contracts. So in these documents here, they will give us all the information we need. They will give us the how many, the what, the everything they need will be inside of these documentation. But we know that they're looking for behavioral health services, and they're looking for it in Little Rock, Arkansas. So the first question on the table is, how do we find a local business to actually perform this service that the federal government is looking for? Because Coach Jay, I am in Mississippi. My business is in California, and we do not live in Arkansas. So how can we find this particular service to give the federal government what they're looking for? So we use a tool that everybody should be familiar with called Google. It is that simple, y'all. It's that simple. And we simply went in here and put in behavioral health services in Little Rock, Arkansas. So now we have a list of all of these businesses, small businesses that actually perform behavioral health services. So all we're going to do is reach out to them and ask them for the services to see if they can provide it and how much it will cost to actually provide it. All right. So listen, once you all come on, man, drop a like, keep tapping the screen, get the likes up. Let's see if we can give a call to see how the conversation goes, how we talk to the subcontractors in order to get a quote. So let's see. Let's go with Baptist Health first. Let's go with Baptist Health and see what we have. We have the number up on the screen, so let's do it. Let's do it. I answer all questions too. So if you have questions about the process, if you have questions, drop it in the comments. I'll get to the questions and I'll answer it here as we go. Here we go. Let's see if we can get somebody to answer. I hope they're not sleeping.
You have reached Baptist Health Behavioral Services, North Little Rock. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you have reached this voicemail during normal business hours, we are either away from our phones.
All right. So let's try Lakewood. Let's see what Lakewood got going on. Let's see if we can get someone on the line to find out what the federal government, if they can supply it and for what cost. Let's find out. Here we go.
Lakewood Behavior Health.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Okay.
Good. Listen, I'm trying to find out who I can speak with. We're trying to find out if you provide behavioral health services. We're trying to get a quote to have some, some support and stuff done. Do you know who I need to speak to get that done?
Okay, first of all, our office is closing. We're retiring, so there's nobody.
Oh, y'all are retiring. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not really familiar with the area. Is there anyone else that you could recommend that provides behavioral health services like consultation services and all that?
You can call Arkansas Psychiatry. You can. We tell our patients, since we're closing down and we're private, so we're not affiliated with anyone.
Okay.
We just tell them to call their insurance or Google. Like I said, Arkansas Psychiatry. There's different places if you look up psychiatry just in the local area.
Yeah.
You can have Little Rock Counseling and Wellness. You can have
yeah, I have them on my list too as well. So you were next on my list. But sorry that y'all are closing.
Oh, you're okay. It's time.
It's time. Okay. No problem.
40 years.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, you have a good day, okay?
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Sometimes you get into that. So, and this is why we use, there are so many small businesses that pay to actually be on Google. They pay to be ranked and always sim. So let's call another one. They're going out of business, but let's call another one. Y'all see what's going on here in the economy. See if we can get someone who can be able to do this. All right. Let's call Arkansas Counseling. Let's try them. Here we go.
Thank you for calling Arkansas Counseling and Wellness Services. How can I help you?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm not sure who I need to speak with. I'm trying to see who I can speak with to get a pricing quote or so. We're looking to get some behavioral health consultation and services done.
Okay. So do you have insurance, or would it be self-pay, or?
Well, this will be for the Marine National Guard Reserve, so the federal government. They're actually looking for, a local company there in Arkansas to provide, counseling and that services. So I don't know if you all do that or not.
I mean, we do have providers so we have 4 different locations.
Okay.
I've got Conway, North Little Rock, Benton, and then in Springdale, but there's only a few accepting new clients, but all of the info is on our website, and people, clients can go through the portal on our website and schedule and request appointments.
Right.
If they have TRICARE, if they have insurance, we do have a few providers that are in network with TRICARE.
Right.
And then I even have some who work with the Wounded Warrior program, because they offer a certain set amount of free sessions that they'll cover the cost.
Correct.
So, I mean, we're familiar, we work with both of those. And so if it, like I said, most people, you could just direct them, I guess, to our website, or they can call. They're free to call. We can always get them set up.
Right. But we're actually trying to secure this and pay for it, and then provide it to the National Guard reservists and their family members. Is there
I would talk to our owner. Yeah. So Dr. Christy Burton is our owner. Her information is all on our website as well, and then it has her email. And so it's just arcounselingandwellness.com.
Yeah, I have
and if you go to the Meet the Team, go to the Meet the Team section, you'll see Christy's page, and then her email is there where you can reach out to her directly.
No problem. All right, I'll give her a call.
Thank you.
All right. No problem.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So I don't want to prolong and belabor it. So pretty much that's what we do when it comes to getting these quotes. We simply just call the subcontractor up, or we call the local businesses. As you can see, we simply just use Google. We simply just use Google to find a provider that's in that area. And then we will actually reach out to them to ask them for a quote based off of what the federal government is asking for. So this isn't a response. This video, this live isn't a response to questions that I get all the time on how do we actually acquire a pricing? How do we know how much that we're going to charge the federal government in order for us to facilitate what they're actually looking for? That's it. So a lot of people wanted to hear how we actually call and speak to the sub. Do we even mention that it's for the federal government? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. How much? The question on the table now is how much do we make on average per deal? So every contract opportunity is different. Every contract opportunity has a different length, has a different specification on what they're looking for. So there is no set amount or no average amount on what you make. You can make $5,000 a month. You can make $20,000 a month. It's all based off of what the federal government is looking for, and you are being able to provide that. So if you want to learn the details, the ins and outs on how we do what we do, how we actually able to find these federal government contracts, how we're able to understand what the federal government is asking for, and how we're able to provide the services to the federal government, we are able to provide goods, services, and even real estate, for the needs of the federal government. All right. So say it's a 2-year service. How often do they pay? The federal government pays every month. So you would be having monthly revenue if it's an ongoing service. So let's take a look at another solicitation on what they're looking for. Let's see. So that one is behavioral health. Let's see this one. This one is to maintain the roads and grounds. Again, I'm just trying to give you an overview of what is out there. So if you go to SAM.gov, you can actually bring up the listing of needs of the federal government, and then you can actually see what the federal government is looking for. They're looking for fulsome law enforcement. So even security services. So for this one, this is a good one right here. The federal government is looking for security services at the Folsom Dam. So they have a dam in California, and they're looking for security services to actually do this. So what we will do in this instance, again, I do not have to live in California. My business does not even have to be registered in California. I will just simply reach out to a security business, a business that provides security services, make sure it meets the requirement of what the federal government is asking for. And I would just simply ask them to provide me a pricing, a quote on how much they would actually charge me to actually provide the service. So we can actually open the document. Let's open the document to see on this one what actually they're looking for. All right, let's see what they're looking for on this actual services. Let's see. Let's bring it up. All right. So let's open it up and see. Ooh, wait. I see it. So we're going to open one of these documentations here. And let's take a look and see what the federal government is wanting. All right, here we go. So based off of this information, so they want a contractor, which is us, which is a business, to provide 24/7 uniform law enforcement services at the Folsom Dam complex. All right. So they're giving you all the information you need. And again, once you read and know how to understand this document, they are going to actually tell you everything. They'll let you know if the guards need to be armed. Obviously, we can see that they need to be uniformed, as well as enforcing the criminal statutes and all that in the state of. So it looks like they want police officers. Yay, that's good. All right. So we can see right here off of, I know somebody had a question in the chat. This one contract opportunity, we can see it's for 1 base year plus 4 option years. So this one opportunity is for 5. All right. Let me see if I can answer a question here real quick. Senja is asking, do you send any agreements or clauses with the scope of work to the contractor? Not in the beginning to get the work, get the quote. Remember, all we need to do is to get the quote. What we're trying to do, we're trying to get a price from the actual subcontractors in how much we can actually perform this thing for. Okay, so us sending any agreements, that would not give us a quote. Remember, the objective is to get a price, to get a quote from the subcontractor. So good question, though. Good question. So this one opportunity right here is for 5 years. And I mentioned it before and I'll say it again. Most service-based contracts, wanting a particular service done, are typically for anywhere between 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years. So I want y'all to take a minute back and understand why federal government contracting is so lucrative. You can have one federal government contract that will be paying you for the next 4 to 5 years. Just one, paying you for the next 4 to 5 years for work that you are not physically performing. You do not have to actually go out to this location and perform the armed guard servicing. You do not have to leave your home in order to go out and secure this facility. But what we do, we hire a local company that has the ability, has the personnel, has the qualifications, has the equipment in order to fulfill and give the federal government what they're needing. We are putting the two together. We are putting the need of the federal government along with a local small business that is dependent on work in order for them to survive. And by us marrying the two together, we are able to generate an income from home without having to do the physical work. And the beautiful thing is that there is no limit on the amount of contracts that your business can actually hold and fulfill to the federal government. So imagine with me that you have multiple contracts for multiple years going on at the same time. And then you will see and you'll begin to realize how people in our community why people are getting into federal government contracting and are able to make multiple 6 figures a year without having to do the physical work, because they are not the ones that's required to physically do it. And because you are not limited by the work that your hands are doing, you can then multiply your efforts and deploy multiple contracts out there at the time, meaning in that. All right. Question is, would it be better? Would we be the one business holding the contracts with the subcontractor for the duration of the job? So because our business is the one that's registered inside of the federal government system called SAM.gov, we're the one that's in that. We are the prime contractor. So therefore, the contract that's being awarded is awarded to our business. Our business is the one that's going to be awarded the contract. We hold the contract and we are able to execute on that contract as we see fit. We are going to hire the subcontractor only to fulfill the physical portion of the physical requirements of the opportunity. Michael Hend, what's going on? Good morning from Live Oak, Florida. I see you in the building, brother. I see you. I see y'all. All my YouTube family too as well. Welcome too, man. Welcome. Again, I'm trying to do this as much as possible. My goal and my task for coming on live to sharing this information with you, I want everyone to understand that federal government contracting is available. It is a thing. And there is no red tape that you have to go through in order to get started. The federal government has a need. They have spent over $9 trillion. Y'all let that sink in. You have a customer that has a bankroll of trillions of dollars that they need goods, services, real estate. They need stuff to be in order for them to keep their businesses going. And you are in a prime position in order for you to actually provide what the federal government is looking for. You are in a prime position to actually provide what the federal government is looking for. And what we're teaching you and what we're showing you is how simple the process is to actually get in and provide the need of the federal government. So if you want to have the federal government as one of your largest customers, if you want to be into a position where you can, on a daily basis, provide the need of the federal government, then you need to get into federal government contracting. So we will teach you the process on how to start, how to establish your business correctly so you can be able to get into federal government contracting. Then we will teach you how to read, understand, and submit and win federal government contracting. All right? We will teach you the entire process. So our workshop is starting next week. It will be on Wednesday, the 27th through Friday, the 29th. So register. Look at the link in the description. Click the link in the bio. You can see how you can register for the workshop. It's from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason we do it like that, because I understand that most people that are watching me, most people that come across my content, even if you're catching it on the replay, I understand that you have a 9-to-5. You have a 9-to-5, or you have other obligations. So that's why we pushed it to the afternoon, so you will be able to attend to get this skill, so you can then go out there and execute and win federal government contracts. There are 97,000 new federal government contract that is out there daily. 97,000 updated every single day. New opportunities for you to provide the need of the federal government. So just this one we're looking at right now, as we can see, they're looking for Folsom Dam law enforcement services. We can see that it is for over 5-year opportunity. 5-year opportunity. So California is unfortunately closed right now, or else I would have made a call. But you can give them a call. You can give, again, there are 97,000 opportunities out there. So if you're watching the replay, if you want to actually pursue this actual opportunity, there are 2 ways that you can do this. Either you can do it how we actually teach and show you, where you do not actually have to actually facilitate the actual physical portion of the contract. Simply is, we are going to find a local security firm that has the capability to provide 24/7 law enforcement services at that dam service. We will simply ask them for a quote. We will put our profit on top of it, and then we will submit it to the federal government as a bid or a proposal. Once we win the federal government contract, then we will be able to then actually hire the company that gives us the quote. But let's say you live in California. Let's say you're going through TikTok, or you're going through YouTube, and you come across my content, and you have a law enforcement security business in California, that you are within the area that your business could actually facilitate it themselves, then you know the process on how to actually submit to the federal government. And now the federal government can have one of your largest customer. All right. Dr. Denise, thank you, man, in the building. I see you. That's not far from you. User said that's not far from you. Michael's asking, what about Florida? What about Florida? Remember, the process and the system that we teach you is that you don't have to physically be in the location of where the federal government has a need. The federal government is looking for goods, services, real estate in every state, in every city within the United States, and even overseas. There are contract opportunities even overseas that we are able to fulfill. You said California is closed. They don't sleep. Oh, really? Somebody's let me know California is opened at 6 a.m. Y'all think so? They say California is open at 6 a.m. So let's find out. So somebody is saying California is open. So if you're watching the replay, if you want to learn how to get into federal government contracting, if you want to understand how to do what we do, and provide the federal government with whatever they're looking for without having to do the physical work, tap in with us so we can teach you the process. It is hard and difficult for me to show you how to do what we do in just some video clips. It's hard for me to go into the intricacies of it just by seeing clips. All right. I have a lot of people talking about California is open. California is open. Let's find out. Let's find out. All right. Let's see. Folsom Dam. Let's see. All right. Let's try. Let's try it. Let's try it. So we're looking for armed security service in California. All right. You see, y'all saying that I'm getting closed. I'm seeing close. They're all closed. They're all closed on me. California does sleep. California does sleep. I see. All right, listen, we tried the behavioral health. It doesn't matter what, we can reach out for them. So they're looking for ground maintenance. Where is this one at? South Dakota. This is in South Dakota. Wherever the need of the federal government is, we can actually go. They did you wrong. That's all right. Let's see what else we got going on. Folsom Dam Security Service. We looked at that one. California, they're looking for leasing space too. So let me answer this question, because so someone is asking, how do we find the need? How do we find the need of the federal government? I see Kat is in the building. What's going on, Kat? How do we find the need of the federal government? Okay. There is a simple process in how we find the need of the federal government that anyone can do it. SAM.gov, as you can see, it's a free government website. Yes, there are some other websites that's out there. There are some other websites that's out there that actually post solicitations that the federal government is looking for. There is like Unison Marketplace, there is like Fed Connect, there is FedBid, there is Dibs, there is a whole bunch of other websites out there. But we use SAM.gov because we understand that most of those other websites get their information from SAM.gov. So we actually go to the source before we go out. What is the average length? Kat is wanting to know, what is the average length of a contract? Most service-based contract, the average that I see is anywhere between 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years is the average length of a contract. On the real estate side, the average length of a real estate contract or lease is anywhere between 15 to 20 years. 15 to 20 years. So I think we might have one up. Let's take a look and see. So the federal government is looking for general service admission in Clovis, California. All right. And we can see here, this one is 10 years. 10-year run. This opportunity is for 10 years. All right. 10 years. So let's jump back over. How do we actually find? Listen, Coach, I hear what you're saying and all that. But listen, I want to see for myself what the federal government is looking for. I want to know if it's beneficial or lucrative for me to get into federal government contracting. I want to see what the federal government is actually looking for. So let me show you the simple process and the simple way, if you want to see, before to know if federal government contracting is for you, how you can actually jump in here. Okay? So on SAM.gov, it's the official website of the US government. You don't have to log in. Anyone can do this. You don't have to create a registration. You don't have to do anything in order to find what the federal government is looking for. So, what other marketplace that you could think of? Let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know in the chat. What other marketplace that you know that you do not have to actually advertise to your customers? In every other business scenario, one of the biggest expense in owning and operating a business is actually marketing, getting and acquiring new customers. Okay? So what other business model do you know of that you do not actually have to actually go out and seek for your customers, but the federal government is already advertising to you what they are looking for? They are actually advertising their need, and it's up to us to come in and fulfill that need. All right. So let me show you how you can find the need of the federal government, and then I'll jump back and answer some questions. Okay. So on the home menu of SAM.gov, as you can see, it's 100% free. So if you are on a website that's asking you to pay to register, just know that you are on the wrong site. SAM.gov is free. You come over here to the search menu. Once you click on search, it will take you over to the search menu. The easiest and simple way to generate the list without you trying to figure out what city, what state, what type of contract opportunity it is to go to the domain right here and put contract opportunities, scroll down, and right here where it says active, you click on inactive, and as soon as I clicked on it, you see that the list generates. You see the list generates, and then we can see all the requirements on all the contract opportunity, all the opportunities for you to actually provide the federal government with something is actually out there right now. And to the very top of the page, we can see that right now as we speak, there is over 4.7 million opportunities that is out there displaying right now on SAM.gov. Let that sink in. 4.7. Most service-based. Let's just run the numbers. Let's run the numbers. There are 4.7 million opportunities out there right now. Just the numbers as we can see in front of us. Every single day, there are over 96 to 97,000 new opportunities that are updated on this list. Run the numbers again. Most service-based contracts are for 4 to 5 years long. How many opportunities can you hold? How many opportunities that's available for you to actually see? All right. So that's the list. And all you have to do is simply go through the list and find an opportunity that interests you. And then you go to that solicitation to actually find the details of it. So right here, they're looking for hood system maintenance. They have all the information needed about this hood, how frequently they want it, how much they want it, where is it located. All of that information is included in this document right here. All right, let me see if I can answer some questions. Man, y'all hanging out with me thick, man. Y'all keep on tapping the screen, share this live, like this live too as well. All right, here we go. Synergy is asking, what about funds to fulfill these product-based contracts? So, listen, I'm jumping between both platforms. I see y'all are rocking with me. So listen, I'm getting to all the questions. All right. So what about the funds? So this is what we teach inside of our community. This is what we teach inside of our program. So register for our workshop that's starting next week. Come in and be able to learn the process so you can execute. You will know how about when it comes to funds for products, when it comes to all of that. All right. Mr. Freedom is asking, Okay, so we get the quote, we're going to use a contractor, then we obtain the experience, the qualification. All right, let's back up. Let's dissect the question that you're asking. Once we get the quote, remember, you don't need to have any experience. You don't need to have any capital to get started in federal government contracting. You don't need to have any licenses or any insurance, because remember, the method and the process that we teach, we are not physically doing the work. So the business that we're going to hire, the small company that we're going to actually hire to do the physical work, they're the ones that have been in business for many years. They're the ones that have the expertise. They're the ones that have the know-how, the licenses, the insurance, the equipment, the manpower. They have all of that information and all of that knowledge in order to execute the product or execute the services correctly. I hope that's making sense. So my business, the one that's actually in and that's getting in, they're the ones that I do not need to actually have that equipment, because I am going to hire the professionals, the ones that's able to actually do that. Okay. All right. Let me see. I hope that makes sense, John. Let me see, Jonathan. Let me see what else you got. How do we get past being done the working clause, meaning the percentage of work being done? Jonathan, man, you see, all of these good questions, man. Y'all need to come to the workshop. Y'all need to actually come to learn the process. But I will give you one. I'll give you one question to take home to answer that question yourself. In the job that you do right now, I want you to let me know if all work is physical. Remember, what I'm saying and what I'm advising is that we are not doing only the physical portion of the work. Just the physical portion is what we're hiring for the actual subcontractor to complete. All right, let me see here. Dallas is saying, I was told it is net 30. So the federal government default payment terms is net 30. They are on a net 30, meaning that they have 30 days to pay you after they have received your invoice. In the business world, net 30 is a common practice among business owners. We use net 30 in order for us to conduct business. Remember, the mindset shift that has to happen is that we are no longer a consumer actually getting a product or service from a business, but we are a business that's actually doing business with other businesses. And in the business world, it is a net 30. You have 30 days in order to pay that invoice. All right. Let's see. Isn't there Dallas is saying, isn't there a clause in the contract that says about subcontracting? You have to be familiar with what they're talking about. So there is a clause in the FARs, the federal regulations of subcontracting, called limitations of subcontracting. That clause will let you know if there is a limit on the amount of subcontracting to be done, or if you are subcontracting the work out, there is a limit or a performance that's required by you, the prime contractor. But that clause only applies if it's in that solicitation, and you have to read that clause and apply. But listen, what we just ran the numbers. We just ran the numbers. There are 97,000 contract opportunities that's uploaded every single day. If you come across a contract opportunity, and the federal government will make it clear to you that this opportunity cannot be subcontracted, meaning that your company, the prime contractor who is being awarded the contract, needs to complete 100% of the work, meaning that from your employees and all of that needs to actually fulfill this. If that is an opportunity that you come across and you know that you cannot meet that requirement, guess what we do? Guess what we do? We go on to the next one. There are 97,000 out there. Why am I going to throw my whole business model away because I find one opportunity that I cannot fulfill? You need help? Listen, if you need help, for those that are now rocking in, we are actually having a workshop. It's starting next week. This is the time to register. Click the link in the bio or in the description so you can register for our workshop. Inside of our workshop, it's a 3-day virtual workshop. We are going to walk you through the entire process on how to find federal government contracts, how to answer your question, Daniel. How do you know the difference between the two? I'm talking about Jasmine. How can you find it? How do you know the difference? We are going to teach you how to understand what the federal government is asking for. Know the requirements of the federal government so you are then able to fulfill the need of the federal government. How to submit your proposal and how to win federal government contracts. We are going to teach you the entire process. So register for our workshop. It will be the 27th through the 29th. 27th through the 29th. It will be from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For general admission, it will be 6 to 8 for the 3 days. For the VIP levels, those who want to have that additional one-on-one, you're going to have an additional hour. So it will be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. So click the link in the bio, register now, save your seat so you can be able to understand how to win federal government contract. You are only one contract away from changing your business revenue, from changing your family's financial situation, because as we just demonstrated by the numbers, most service-based contracts are for 4 and 5 years long. So you have the ability to have residual income coming in for the next 4 to 5 years off of just one federal government contract. One federal government contract. All right. So J Love is asking, what does it mean to request a role? In your registration, they will ask you to request a role. Who is the person that's required to sign and to make decisions on actually when the contract is going on? So you are always that position. All right. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. So we covered it, man. So this one is the hood services. We've covered it for you. We've showed you how to actually find these contract opportunities. We show you how to actually look to see what the federal government is asking for. I see y'all in the building still, man. What other questions y'all got? If you got questions, I answer all questions too. I am here for you to show you the process and how we actually do this. So if you want to be able, the workshop starts next week. If you want someone to hold your hand to walk you through the process, then this is the place for you to be. All right. No problem. So again, I'll be out. I'll be out next time. I come on live at least on YouTube. I try to come on live at least twice a week to provide you with that information. It's more interactive. Y'all could join on in. Y'all could see my screen in full screen to show you the simple process and how we execute that. On TikTok, man, I try to come on and answer questions too for you as well to let you see that the process of getting into federal government contracting, for some reason, a lot of people have made it difficult, made it convoluted. But there are only 3 simple steps in order for you to get started. 3 simple steps. If you have seen my live, if you've seen this and you want to get started in federal government contracting, the first thing you need to do is to establish a business. The federal government only does business with other businesses. We use InkFile. You don't have to use InkFile, but I highly recommend InkFile. We have partnered with them, and they have actually have a plan to execute and get your business registered file. So Get your business registered with InkFile. Use your physical address. Use your home address in order for you to get started, to be able to execute and get through to the money faster. Step 2 is that you get a free EIN number for that business that you just create. Again, these are things that you can take care of within a week. Things that you could take care of within a week. You get your free EIN number. And then the last and final step, you have to register your business inside of SAM.gov. You cannot win a federal government contract if you are not registered inside of SAM.gov. In order for the federal government to do business with you, you need to have your business registered inside of SAM.gov. As we mentioned early on, SAM.gov is absolutely free. You will just go to SAM.gov and you would click on the registration, man. Just click on the registration right here. It says get started, and this will be free. You will register your business in there. Okay? Register your business in there so you can be able to win federal government contract. And once you're in, this is just the foundation, the basic steps to get started. You don't have to be in business for multiple years. You don't have to have credit. You don't have to have capital to get started. You don't have to have any type of licenses, any special insurance. You don't need any of that to get started in federal government contracting. The only prerequisite that you need in order to get started is to have a business, legitimate business in the state that you live in to get started, because the federal government only does business with other business. Island Flavor says that her registration just got expired. You have to annually renew it once a year. You just have to renew it. If your registration was already in there, you just have to renew your registration and then you're good to go. Then you're good to go. All right. That's it. So the workshop is starting next week. It was starting Wednesday. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you register. Make sure that you register so we can be able to show you the process and how you could actually execute that. No problem. Yeah, I got y'all. I promise you I got y'all. Okay? So we showed you the 3 basic steps on how to get started. We showed you how to actually find the opportunities that's out there. We showed you how to do that. And we've showed you even if you were on the live. If not, you can see the replay on YouTube, how we were able to reach out to subcontractors and make calls in order for us to get a quote. Okay? We were able to do that too as well. So tap in with your boy. Make sure you like and follow. For all those that are my TikTok family that's over there, we are also live on YouTube. If you want to jump on over to my YouTube handle is the same. It's all the same. FGC Simplified on both sides. And you are just one contract away from changing your financial situation. Tap in with us so we can get you to that level. All right? Coach is out. We're out. I'm out.